A demand to end what is being called a cascade of classified information leaks. It's a bipartisan effort from 4 top Republican and Democrats in light of 3 glaring examples of leaks happening in just the past month. Now, last week, you'll remember the New York Times reported that President Obama ordered cyber attacks against Iran's nuclear facilities and that the president personally oversees a kill list for expanded drone attacks. Back in May, we found out that a U.S. double agent helped foil an airline bomb plot out of Yemen. The Obama administration is accused of leaking the secrets for political points. The White House flatly denying that. After meeting with the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, the top Republican on the Intelligence Committee, Senator Saxby Chambliss, remained ambiguous about whether he thinks the leaks are politically motivated. Listen.
We've been through this before in the Bush administration. Wherever the responsibility falls out, that's where it's going to be. And if it's in the administration, fine. If it's not in the administration, fine.
This morning, we talked to Republican Congressman Mike Rogers of Michigan. He's the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. Democratic Congressman Dutch Ruppersberger is a ranking member of the Intelligence Committee. And they both of them met with the director, Clapper, yesterday. Gentlemen, nice to see you. Thanks for talking with me. Certainly appreciate it. You represent, as Democrat and Republican, both sides of the aisle. I'd love for both of you to answer this question. Where do you think the leaks are coming from? Why don't we start with you first, Congressman Rogers?
Well, we don't exactly know, but we do know it's that if someone has committed a crime that is having serious consequences to our national security. So what we're arguing, I think, in a bipartisan way, is we need to follow the leads of the investigation to the leaker and make sure that leaker goes to jail. Much like what happened with the Valerie Plame case, somebody went to jail over that. This is 100 times the magnitude of that, and somebody needs to pay a price for this crime.
Congressman Ruppersberger, do you have a sense of where these leaks are coming from?
Well, the first thing, the leaks are very serious. It affects our national security, and they're wrong. And we're going to follow the facts wherever they go. In a bipartisan way, the Senate and the House are coming together. We need the administration to work with us in a partnership to find out where the leaks are and how we're going to stop these leaks. And wherever the facts take us, that's where we should go. And if whoever did commit these leaks, they should be held accountable.
But the question I asked was, where do you think the leaks are coming from? Do you have a gut sense of who's leaking?
We don't know. That's what investigations are for. But these leaks have been occurring more and more as we've moved on. I've been on the Intelligence Committee for close to 10 years, and this is about the worst that I've seen it. This is wrong for America.
Do you think that it requires an outside investigator? A moment ago, we played a little bit of what Senator Chambliss was saying. What do you think?
Well, you know, we have to ask some hard questions here, and I know I've had discussions with Senator Dianne Feinstein about maybe the possibility of a special counsel. It's something I think
she thinks no, as I'm sure you're well aware. She says no. She doesn't think a special investigator is necessary.
I don't think it's as definitive as that. And what part of the reason is that you can't have someone who may have leaked it in the chain of command investigating themselves, and that's the one thing where we're going to have to come to a conclusion, and it should be a bipartisan conclusion if we get there. But you know, the part of the national security team at the Department of Justice had to recuse itself on one portion of the investigation, not because they were guilty of anything, but because they had access to information. The FBI had some access at very senior levels. The NSC had access at very senior levels of very compartmented programs, and so it starts to get a little murky quickly. We need to make sure that it is a fair investigation. It's complete, meaning it can go wherever it takes it. It can ask any question to anyone who had access to the information, and it has to be bipartisan. That's what we're wrestling with now.
Congressman Ruppersberger, let me ask you a question. Is it possible that the leaks are coming from Congress? The other night, Anderson was talking to Congressman Peter King, and they were speaking specifically about the airline bomb plot. And here's what he had to say. Let's play that first.
Okay, sure.
It's probably, and it's one of the most tightly held operations I've seen. I can tell you that myself, I think no other member of Congress knew anything about this, including me, until this afternoon. And that's unusual.
How likely do you think, sir, that it's a member of Congress potentially who's leaking?
Well, right now, we don't have the facts where it's coming from, and we're going to find out. But if it is a member of Congress, whoever it is, that person will be held accountable. There are two major issues here. There's the issue of how we're going to stop the leaks, the culture of leaks, and the other issue is find out who did leak it with respect to these investigations. And if, in fact, the facts show that we're getting close, and there's an individual that purposely leaked this information, then I think we should move forward with a special prosecutor. But it's too soon to make that determination, because remember, a special prosecutor can take years and costs a lot of money, and it's going and targeting on an individual to get evidence and elements of a crime. We have a problem here, and the most important thing is for our committees to come together, working with the administration, and putting together a team that's going to stop the leaks, and that everyone who works in the area of intelligence and has the clearances to deal with that needs to know that these leaks cannot happen, and you're going to be held accountable and go to jail if you do leak.
How confident are you, sir, that in fact you're going to be able to not only track down the person who's leaking, as you point out, but also, I guess, end this culture of leaking as well?
Well, I will tell you that this is the first time we've seen such bipartisan effort. Because of the severity of the pattern of leaks, there wasn't one particular incident. There was a whole slew of incidents. So I do feel confident that we will be able to find and prosecute the individual who did it. Now, the trick is how exactly we get there in a way that makes people believe it's fair and bipartisan, and we're working through those issues now. And
I would guess, how do you get there in a way that's not only fair and bipartisan, but that you don't reveal more information in a hearing that's supposed to, in fact, be protecting classified information? Isn't that one of the worries?
Well, anything that we do on the Intelligence Committee is classified and can be classified. So anything that we would do through an investigation on the committee itself would be classified. Anything that, say, a special counsel might do would also be classified in determination. And for the FBI as well, because, again, the level of information that, when you look at the whole pattern, tells you that it's someone very senior in the executive branch, or could possibly be a member of Congress in either committee. But the indicators show that there is a pattern of this activity, and this is going to take a pretty fulsome effort to get at it.
Congressman Rogers, I want to also ask you a question about the testimony from yesterday. You had said there was a segment of the media, that's a quote from you, present in a classified setting. What were you talking about specifically?
Media or medium, and I can't get into too many details, but we had, in the preliminary review, we had certain things that indicated to us that there was something to this notion that there's a pattern of problem here and a culture of trying to feed the media things that were classified. That was one example where there was a situation that was classified that had an individual from the media or medium, a different type of medium, in an event that was inappropriate at best and may have violated other rules or laws as well.
Are you talking specifically about documentary producers who were sitting in classified meetings?
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't give all the details, but it was significant enough that it raised some concerns.
Gentleman, Mike Rogers is a Republican from Michigan. Dutch Ruppersberger is a Democrat from the state of Maryland. Nice to have you. I appreciate your time this morning, gentlemen. Thanks.
Thanks,
okay,
you bet.
You bet.